Okay, let's unpack this. Sometimes, a single film doesn't just tell a story. It sort of pulls you right into a global crisis,
Yeah.
illuminating, well, an entire world, an entire journey in a way that news reports often just can't seem to do.
Right.
So today we're getting into a deep dive on the film Io Capitano. We're looking at it through a review by Mary Munoz on Moviescramble. And it's a film that gives this really visceral, deeply human look at the migrant crisis.
And what's fascinating reading this review is how it really highlights the film's success in, well, humanizing an issue that can often feel so abstract, maybe remote.
Mm-hmm.
It really challenges us, I think, to move beyond the headlines and, understand the brutal depths and the very personal realities of migration.
Absolutely. And the director is Matteo Garrone. Maybe you remember him from Gomorrah back in 2008, that really intense film about the Neapolitan mafia.
Oh, yeah. Powerful stuff.
Right. So with Io Capitano, he's tackling this issue that, well, it keeps causing huge divisions in Italian politics. Even though Italy itself, for a lot of the film, it's just kind of a shadow on the horizon.
It's just a goal, yeah.
So our journey with the film, it starts in Dakar, Senegal. We meet these two young cousins, Seydou, that's Seydou Sarr and Moussa, played by Mustafa Fall.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been secretly taking odd jobs, lying to their moms, basically scraping cash together.
Right.
Their whole focus is this dream, this almost naive but really powerful dream of what they imagine as, Italian paradise.
And the review, it immediately jumps on the stakes here, the sheer weight of it.
Yeah.
Because they're warned, explicitly warned, the journey is littered with the bodies of those who went before them.
Yeah.
But they're undeterred. And it just makes you ask, what on earth fuels that level of desperation, where these awful warnings just aren't enough?
It's incredible, isn't it?
It speaks to something really profound, like a perceived lack of any other option so severe that the unthinkable just becomes the only path they see.
That's really the core thing the film unpacks so well, I think. It feels like it's not just desperation, but also this kind of blinding, maybe naive hope for something better.
Yeah, a powerful hope.
Even if it means facing these
Wait.
excruciating realities ahead. And the film, it doesn't flinch. It shows the excruciating nature of the journey. We see the stages crossing the Sahara, making it to Libya, which is its own kind of hell, and then that incredibly treacherous ocean crossing to Italy. It's just relentless.
And Garrone, the director, and Paolo Carnera, the cinematographer, they really make you feel it visually. It's not just told, it's shown. The sand, the dust, the heat. It feels suffocating, actually. They use these huge sweeping shots, the Golden Dunes, and migrants are just these tiny dots on the landscape.
Yeah, it emphasizes how small they are.
Exactly, their vulnerability. And then the boat scene across the Mediterranean, it's just a small white wedge in amongst swaths of azure blue, like a tiny speck in this vast, indifferent ocean. It's quite something.
And all the while, the dangers are constant, nonstop. They're warned you'll be robbed, abandoned, worse. And the film just shows it happening, warning after warning, proving devastatingly accurate. You really feel this chilling fear for them, these, keen but incredibly naive 16-year-olds.
Yeah, they're just, tragically, they're easy marks, aren't they, for these completely unscrupulous people traffickers.
Yeah. Okay, amidst all that horror, what really connects you, what pulls you deepest into the crisis, I think, are the performances.
Oh, absolutely.
Seydou Sarr and Mustafa Fall. The review calls them utterly compelling, and they really are. They draw you in with that initial hope, that enthusiasm, and their chemistry together feels so easy and natural. You just root for them.
You do. And their performances, they're so effective that honestly, you feel every bit as weary and desperate as they do as things get worse and worse.
Right.
And it's this powerful paradox, isn't it? Because they are victims, clearly victims of this grossly exploitative system.
Yeah.
But their will to survive, just for themselves, for each other.
No.
The review says it's never broken. And that resilience, it's just astonishing to watch.
Sarr, especially Seydou Sarr, he has the most incredible eyes. They just lay bare everything his character is feeling. So often you see his face almost melt into this childlike fear, It just cancels out any attempt he's making to look strong.
Yeah.
His tragedy feels huge, epic in scale.
And this is where the film does something so crucial, I think. These performances, they breathe life into a migration crisis that often seems, well, two-dimensional, right?
Yeah.
Like in newspaper articles or on TV reports.
Just statistics.
Yeah, exactly. They turn those stats, those abstract ideas, into something deeply personal. So you, the listener, you can connect with the human cost in a way that, data just never allows. It stops being just a headline. It becomes an experience.
And that really is the core success of the film, isn't it? Humanizing a crisis that feels remote by bringing it right to you, up close. It doesn't let you look away, not from the torture, the violence. It doesn't let you escape the despair, the dirt. It demands your full attention, your empathy.
And Garrone's message, it couldn't be clearer, really.
Yeah.
No one makes this kind of journey unless they're absolutely desperate. The film just hammers that home, that level of extreme urgency. It shatters any idea that these are choices made lightly.
No.
It's about survival, plain and simple.
But it's not all grimness, is it? The film finds moments. It cherishes these small acts of kindness.
Right, those little glimmers.
Yeah, like a close-up of a motherly hand on Seydou's face, or someone acting with a fatherly protectiveness, little moments of help directions, maybe some water, medical care, just emotional support between the migrants themselves. And there are even these really beautiful, kind of surreal, dreamlike sequences.
So those were striking.
Yeah, they really highlight Seydou's deep yearning for care, for affection, almost like an escape hatch from the brutal reality.
So if we kind of pull back from just the story of Seydou and Moussa for a second, the film's bigger goal, it seems to go beyond just, tugging at some heartstrings and winning some awards.
Right, it's more than that.
It feels like it wants to highlight a very real, very universal issue. It pushes you, I think, to think beyond these two specific boys and see the bigger picture. The global forces, the human desires driving these journeys everywhere.
And it definitely doesn't shy away from showing the specific brutal realities it wants us to face, like the Maltese and Italian coast guards who just don't answer the distress calls from Seydou's boat.
Yeah, the indifference.
Or the traffickers just piling up dead bodies because they can't be exploited for any more money. Or those desert drivers who just don't care if someone falls off the truck into that vast emptiness.
So when you put all that together, the film's ultimate aim, it isn't just about feeling sympathy for Seydou and Moussa, though you certainly do. It's about getting you to really grasp the brutal depths of the migrant crisis itself.
Yeah.
It's like an immersive education, really.
Yeah.
Showing you all the layers, the exploitation, the indifference, the sheer human suffering that's often hidden behind the news reports.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So ultimately, Io Capitano, it's a profound film, it's impactful, and that review from Mary Munoz, calling it surely compulsory viewing, it feels right.
It really does. This whole deep dive, I think, just shows how powerful a film can be, how storytelling, how visual language can bridge that gap, between a huge, seemingly abstract global issue and the tangible, harrowing, but also incredibly resilient human experience right at the heart of it.
So what does this all mean for us then? In a world just saturated with information, news flying at us constantly, if a movie like this is called compulsory viewing to understand the reality of a crisis, well, what does that say about how we usually consume news?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And maybe where do we need to turn, perhaps, for that deeper, more empathetic understanding? Something to think about.